Ever caught yourself yawning and wondered why we yawn in the first place? Yawning is a ubiquitous phenomenon, seen not just in humans, but across most animal species. There are two main theories that attempt to explain this intriguing behavior. One looks at the physiological aspects, the other delves into the psychological reasons. So why do we yawn? To uncover the answer, we delve into the science behind it. Yawning, scientifically known as oscitation, is more than just a big breath. It's a complex reflex action that begins in the brain, specifically in the hypothalamus. Now picture your brain as a supercomputer, and the hypothalamus as the command center. It's constantly monitoring the body's needs, and when it detects a drop in oxygen or a rise in carbon dioxide levels in the blood, it sends a signal to the respiratory muscles. And voila, you yawn. But what really happens when we yawn? When we yawn, we take a long, deep breath, filling our lungs with air. This air cools the blood in our bodies, and the excess heat in our brains is carried away. It's like a fan blowing on a hot computer processor, helping it to cool down and function optimally. So why do we yawn when we're tired or bored? Well, when we're tired, our bodies aren't as efficient at removing carbon dioxide, and when we're bored, our breathing slows down, reducing the amount of oxygen in our blood. In both cases, our brain signals for a yawn to rectify the situation. Intriguingly, yawning is also contagious. This is likely due to a phenomenon known as mirror neurons, which cause us to mimic the actions of others. But that's a topic for another time. So in essence, a yawn could be your body's natural air conditioning system. But it's not just about keeping our brains cool. There's a social aspect to yawning too. Now let's dive into the psychological side of yawning, specifically the intriguing phenomenon of contagious yawning. You know how it goes, right? You see someone yawn, and suddenly you're yawning too. It's almost as if yawning is, well, catching. But why does this happen? Some psychologists suggest that it's a form of empathetic response. Yes, empathy, that ability to understand and share the feelings of others. When we see someone yawn, our brain interprets it as a signal of tiredness or boredom, and we respond by yawning back, mirroring their state. It's a subconscious way of saying, I feel you. Here's something even more fascinating. Studies have shown that yawning is more contagious among people who are emotionally close. Families, friends, couples. The closer the relationship, the higher the chances of a yawn being reciprocated. It's almost as if our brains are wired to share these moments of fatigue or ennui, strengthening our social bonds in the process. So yawning isn't just a physiological response. It's a silent, shared language, a subtle form of communication that, in its own unique way, brings us closer to one another. So, the next time you yawn in response to someone else, you're not just being polite, you're showing empathy. So, to sum up, why do we yawn? Well, we've learned that yawning is quite an intricate and fascinating phenomenon. It's not merely about taking a big breath, but it's about fulfilling physiological needs and even social bonding. Let's quickly recap. Yawning is our body's clever way of getting a rush of oxygen when it senses decreased levels. It's like a wake-up call for your body to re-energize itself. But it's not just about oxygen. Yawning also plays a vital role in regulating our brain's temperature. When your brain gets too hot, a good yawn can help cool it down. And let's not forget the social aspect. Yawning is contagious, and this might be a way for us to empathize and bond with others. It's a subtle yet powerful form of nonverbal communication. The next time you yawn, remember, you're doing more than just taking a big breath. You're cooling your brain and bonding with those around you. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of why we yawn. Your thoughts and experiences are what make this journey of discovery so exciting. You've yawned before, we know you have. So, why not share your funniest, weirdest, or most embarrassing yawn story down in the comments? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss our future videos. Until next time, keep questioning and keep learning.